Okay, so here we are, Hickey. A month has gone
Yes,
by,
hold on a
and we
second
were
because we're
like,
we're talking about hentai. We need the there you go. Hmm.
yeah, what episode number is this?
Chip
One
beer for
one
the
eighty
episode.
three. No, 184. God, it's been a while.
Almost
We're
200.
almost at 200. Uh, this this show, this movie, this OVA, whatever we want to categorize this as, this was very much a Tory pick, but never pulled the trigger on it. So I pulled the trigger on it because of Tory. So he put us through this, but we got into because of the show we're talking about, Kite or a Kite or how you pronounce that because it's Japanese. You got into a whole
Yes.
dissertation over the new visuals that are coming out in the coming seasons here, particularly from Shaft. What is this show called? Virgin Punk?
Virgin Punk is from the same creator as Akite and Mezzo Forte. I don't know if it's gonna be I don't think it's hentai because it's a movie and it will be on movie theaters. Dude, I just said that the creator of Akite is gonna have a movie on movie theaters in Japan. Holy shit! We are getting into the. You don't like cars, do you, JD?
I mean, I have. I don't have. I'm not
But
heavy into them, but I.
the callbacks,
Yes.
right? When like everyone starts like, oh, like for example, nowadays we have like a bunch of 80 cars, 80 style cars with a callback. In the 2000s was like the 60s, so we have some weird
Oh
cars
yeah,
with
like the car.
'60s
Yeah, the
style.
the Volkswagen I own now is very much a sport hatchback from like the 80s.
Yeah, because it's kind of like this callback. Everything is going blocky again because it's the
Well,
80s.
shit. If you go out in America now, you'll basically see two kinds of cars: a pickup or
Do you remember the
I guess three
Chrysler from
kinds.
like the early 2000s that looked like a 60 cars?
Yeah.
Or the new Beetle?
Well, the new Beetle looks pretty sweet, but they're redesigning the Beetle again to go
It's
back
from
to
the
like the
same,
60s
yeah.
70s model. But you go out.
Maybe we're going through that with animation where people are looking at the 90s and 2000s. Those guys are still alive. And then like you have those guys coming back. That is the Virgin Punk thing, but for me it's a new artistic movement into animation that is really cool to watch on lifetime. Just like was with Moe, the transition between stylistic choices to Moe, because everyone liked Moe, and to be frank, Moe is very cheap to produce. The show doesn't need to be Moe, but the Moe style is super cheap because you don't have any definition, you don't have any depth to the characters, so everything can be on a 2D plane. You don't need to think that much. The colors are very vibrant, which is a modernity kind of deal. And yeah, you save a lot of money with Moe style of animation. Doesn't need to be the character style, Moe character style, but the Moe animation style saves you a lot of money. Between 2010 and 2023, 2024, we had a lot of those shows. It was the majority of them. Now we're going back to like the 90s and 2000s. We think like Virgin Punk coming back, which is the Arcade creator. Frieden, it's still that Moe-ish character design, but you already have a lot of more defined characteristics and the
It's focused in on other
new
aspects
technology
rather
coming
than
in.
just crazy depth in the eyes. Now you're able to kind of simplify it to well.
But even the simplified animation is not the Moe from like the 2000s, right? The
No, it's more
2010.
representative of the 90s, like we saw in Kite.
Yeah. Even what are you watching from this season? You watching the receptionist show, right?
Yes, I like a lot of the designs in that.
If you look at that, like if you look at superficially, you might think, oh, that's just a moe style show. That's very normal for the 2000 the late 2000s. It's the style that dominated everything. But when you're watching it very closely, it's like that is moe, but it's
Well,
not
there's another
really.
show this season. I left my A rank party. That one's very much in the same like animation and character design scheme of the Guild Receptionist. So it's not just that one
Yeah.
show. It's been a it's now I think a movement and very much seen in what you've shown me here in Virgin Punk. Very much going in that direction. We're finally getting a shift in character designs, and if we're going back to this, it's not the worst thing because I like
No, I think it's because the animation technology probably advanced a lot, and those studios are probably really looking into AI
oh they definitely
that you
are.
can spend more money into better character design to get the if it's a manga to get the style right. You have a Xuriya son, the the pharmacist show, right? The second season as well, which is super stylish. You know what I'm talking
I
about,
know of the
right?
pharmacist show that you're referencing. Yeah, I'm not personally
Yeah.
watching it, but I know of it. Yeah.
Maybe finally we're gonna have TV shows that are better than Kano no Kyokai.
Well, I don't know about that.
But yeah,
We
we're
need to start getting shows
transitioning.
that are more than kind of the generic nonsense. We need more shows like Apothecary Diaries and Sakamoto Days, and less shows like oh fuck, what would be a good example?
But that's the thing.
Uh,
We're getting them right. Even the isekai trash it's post moe. You still have a lot of the character design features that will never go away, but it's like developing into this almost realistic feeling to the characters, especially when it comes down to bodies. The face is still like the moe face, but we're getting more noses, for example. And like maybe people who are listening to this are thinking like, what the fuck? Like, yeah, people have noses. No, 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 no. Anime characters from 2005 onwards don't have noses. There is no nose. But we're going back to that. And when you look at bodies, the body is the body description and animation, you have defined muscles, right? There's structure. They're not just two lines and say that's an arm. You have muscle physiology. You have bones.
yeah, you're seeing a
Even
lot more
something
different body
like
structures in the main cast of characters being well, I can't say drawn, but
well
yeah,
represented,
represented these days. I mean, shit. Just look at Sakamoto Days.
which
You've
is
got a
like
fat
it's
character who, if he works out enough, he's buff and thin again. You have your telepathic character who looks more like he's in his early 20s. Then you have the teenage girl who has a different body build. The children throughout the show. There's a lot of different builds to it, and you're seeing that a lot more variety.
from like even like between like mid 2024, I would say. Let's see, spring, no, summer 2024. Like that's the interesting thing about animation, right? Or Japanese animation, because with Western animation or cartoon, even if it's Japanese, you don't have a defined formula or a
Mm-hmm.
defined historical evolution. It's just like that's your style and people upload it. And then you have it's more artistic than historical. If we talk about Western animation, you go from Courage the Cowardly Dog. which I love. And it's a very modern animation together with Ed, and Eddie, you know? Even though they're very stylish, they are modern animation. After a while, you get something like The Amazing World of Gumball, which is very postmodern in its approach. There's not a defined style. You have 3D characters with animated characters, with realistic characters, and you have that mishmash of animation style that is almost a fever dream, that is very postmodern. I mean, in Japan, you have a historical evolution of styles and perceptions from consumers due to how commercial it is when compared to Western cartoons, where people have more liberty to be artistic. A lot of people will be very offended for what I'm saying, but it is kind of true. But due to that historical evolution, newer generations are probably looking at shows from the 90s and 2000s and going, that thing was cool. I like the modern animation, I like the moe characters, but the detailed animations and more realistic body proportions and muscle structure is really cool, and that is making a comeback. So it's interesting, like that evolution. It's something you can see on the real time, right? We're going out of the moe phase, which again I never thought it would happen, to a post moe-ish phase with realism. And like going back, like for illustrators, because I really enjoy illustrators, Japanese illustrators, and I follow Comic, for example. Since 2020, the showing realistic skin and muscles has been a thing, and now it's making its way into animation. And for me, like it's kind of, I don't know, kind of interesting. I don't know how to describe it. It's freaky.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's different. It's certainly different.
And then we have Anne of Green Gables coming back, which is, and in a super realistic style as well. So a show from the 70s are making a comeback in a realistic style. The new Gundam movie was very realistic. It wasn't very moe. Man, I enjoy animation. I enjoy Japanese animation. Those guys are cool. I cannot wait for what will happen in the next 10 years.
Yeah, I wonder what direction it's all going to play. This first iteration here, where we're seeing a change, is going to be exciting to kind of see over the next couple years.
Mm-hmm.
All right, my man. Shall we talk about Kite? Okay.
Sure. Let's talk about
Oh boy.
hentai.
Let me play some sort of drop here. God, what would be even appropriate?
I'm gonna beat you with this with this belt.
Let's do Helsing.
Now, it's time we start dealing with the business at hand.
All right. Who's going to do the honors of breaking in Kite into this review here?
You just open my anime list.
Oh boy, this sucker is an 2-episode OVA made into a feature film remade later. About just under an hour,
Yes.
came out in February of '98. Honestly, I watched the film remake of this, I guess, or redistribution.
Same.
Uh,
I don't think there is a internet upload of the OVAs.
Okay.
because it's from 1998. It's very obscure, and from 2010s onward, Japan had a really hard crackdown on piracy. So I think the only place it would be uploaded to, the 2 episode of OVA, would be a fully Japanese, untranslated, in a Japanese server. And that is extremely rare nowadays. So most of Arcade will probably the featured movie, but not only the featured movie, the rare 18 plus version of the movie that was released only on North America, which is the version everyone watches. So it's not rare. I guess the censored version is
Yeah.
rarer than the uncensored version nowadays.
Um,
But the original one, I don't think you can find on the internet
okay.
anymore.
I mean, that checks out. I was on a few sites here. I was even on, it's on Crunchyroll, but there's like a glitch in the system where it won't let you actually watch it. So something's up with the uncensored version on Crunchyroll. So I ended up watching the the more common graphic nudity and porn scenes and gore. Very much can find easily online. All right, so I didn't know what I was getting into with Kite. I've just heard about this. I've heard people joke about it, particularly Tori talk about it. Studio Arms made this. The theme is gore. The genre is action drama. I don't know about the drama part, and it is technically a hentai. So yes, this is.
Oh, it has drama. It has drama. It has drama. Kids, kid has a parents
Oh,
killed
come on.
and stuff, and she cries a lot.
Yeah, we're introduced immediately to like a sex scene, and I'm like, wow, she's kind of young to be getting into this. Well, no, we're first introduced with her getting kind of molested on a train by going out with like the celebrity dude, and she brutally murders this guy right in front of this old lady who gets kicked in like the face by the Hollywood guy. So you immediately
Yeah, and then dies
and
of
then dies of
shock
shock when she finds her
the
glasses
dead
and
body.
sees this like exploded body in front of her. And I'm like, oh, okay. Then the news is like covering the story, and then we go like essentially right into old looking man, having sex with this assassin chick who I just assumed she was in high school. They later established she's indeed in college later, but they also established later that they've been together a thing.
But they show some suspicious.
They show some things where it's like she's probably in middle school and he's raping her and gives her Stockholm syndrome hard because they also established that because she's an orphan because this dude murdered her parents. We don't know why they murdered her parents, but based on why they murdered certain people, maybe we can assume that the parents were into very illegal activities.
Are they? But that's the thing, like, because the two dudes, which is Kite Akai and Kanye, they are not good
Oh no, they are
people.
far from
So
good people.
Were they lying about the people?
I think they saw her and just got infatuated with her and then just decided to murder her parents.
Yeah. Because, like, dude is still police officer,
Yeah.
right? But when it comes down to the actors, that is later, where she kills the wrong guy, he's like, oh, they probably discover, like, did you discover the pedophilia ring or whatever the guy is part of? I was like, so maybe they were bad people, but the other two dudes are also really bad people,
It's fucked up.
you know?
Yeah, in this 57 minutes that we watch this, we meet and come across a lot of evil people, and everything is in question to the morality of everything we're seeing. We see some cool death scenes, though. with setup explosions and
Sure, the exploding, exploding bullets.
so that was interesting to see because I again I was going into this very blind. I was like, okay, maybe it's like this assassin show, and it's quickly a little different than what I was expecting with the fucked up sex scenes and pedophilia constantly in our face throughout it. They try to establish drama with another character. So we have our main character Sawa, and I guess her love interest Oberi, but not really. The other assassin in this group, which I guess is just the four of them, but with the ending scene of Oberi getting blasted away by a child, there's certainly more to it than meets the eye of just Akai and Kane running their own organization. I guess there's a big heavy mafia tie probably that we're unaware of that I guess the sequel will go into in some way. Not sure.
What, Mitsu? Mitsu? I don't think so.
Well, it's Kite Liberator. There's that one.
Oh. Because there's Mitsu Forte as well.
Let's see. Several years later, Monica, normal high school student. I guess it's about her, not really Sawa. Sawa's disappeared, I guess. I don't know. Came out 10 years after the fact. It's not really sure, but
Wait, so it qualifies to be reviewed as well?
it does qualify.
Oh god.
I guess they just get I guess her and Oberi get a bond over their situation of being assassins in this very fucked up world that they live in. Did they ever? I maybe I missed it. Did they ever establish how Oberi like got involved in that?
No. But he wants, the only thing that is established that he wants out.
Well,
Right, like and the Akai's like, okay, you do 3 more jobs and you can stop being an assassin.
yeah, and of course they set him up to kill him
like,
after the third job.
Yeah, so you have like the worst gunfight in the world of animation. Like it's him between him and the fat dude.
Oh, the fat cop
and
on the train, yeah.
Where like no one can hit a single shot.
Yeah, they're like freaking stormtroopers out there. They suck. Like how are these guys professionals and they can't hit anything?
Yeah, but like that dude is not like a random civil servant. That dude knew how to fucking shoot a gun. And it's part of that, like that thing of, are the people they are killing really bad people? Because that dude that Oberi like tries to kill and Sawa helps him, that man knows how to shoot a gun. That wasn't like a random civil servant. He was a really good cop. Like a really good shooter. And he's like, you set me up. That dude was like not what you described me.
Yeah, he was like
going
he was even
to be
yelling at him. It was like he came prepped. He knew what was coming.
Yeah, it's like who are you telling me to kill? Because that man wasn't like the other people I've killed. And then it puts it, they never, from the questions they were not answered, the one about if Oburi and Sawa are killing good or bad people is a question that is not answered, and it's really good that it's not answered. It enhances the story. The other ones are just really bad for the overall plot and storytelling. But this one, am I killing good people? because they're getting close to discovering what you guys are doing, together with the bad people they probably kill. Like, for example, the pedophiles they kill on the escalator. Am I killing good people together with bad people or not? Is a answer that is not. It's a question that is not answered, and it's good that is not answered. It makes the story better. Unfortunately, the story is really bad. But it's a hentai. I cannot complain really that bad. How do you feel about it? Did you have that question on your mind? If they're killing good or bad people, or if they're killing a mix of both of them?
I think 90% of what we saw was like really bad people, and then it
Because it's only Akai saying things, right?
And the other guy looks.
The only part is
The other guy was very questionable. It looks like he was in his own kidnapping pedophilia ring.
Oh yeah, he was raping. He was raping a woman.
Yeah, he's got her tied up, and
the only point that tells you like these guys might be bad people is the escalator scene where we are introduced to Aubrey, because you have like those three guys and they're like, sometimes your wife is not good enough, It's like, maybe they are pedophiles like Akai described.
yeah, it's like those guys. I don't doubt. It's like the case with the cop on the train. I got the feeling that
And the
the
actor,
feeling that
Bruce
he
Willis.
was probably closing in on trying to like get to Akai or something, but there's just a lot of things missing in this OVA movie thing.
Brucey Willis as well. Brucey Willis with the twin brother, where it looks like he was just jealous because his brother's like, like they'll never realize there are two of us, and I'm going to get the prizes and you act, and why not? And he's like, oh, this dude is getting all the glory, so I'm just gonna contact people to kill him.
Yeah, that looked like it was just a straight up hit job. I mean, yes, maybe there was some pedophilia there as well that they kind of hint, but yeah, they kind of hinted at that not being a straight up case of these guys are into improper stuff. It looked like it was just a jealousy hit job.
Yeah. That scene was really good.
Oh, that was excellent. So what we're describing
The
here
Bruce
is
Willis.
there's twin brother actors. One I guess is like the stunt guy, and one is the actual actor. They have 2 or 3 bodyguards with them as they're going to the restroom, and our main character Sawa, dressed up as a like cleaning boy in the restroom, emerges from a stall, and probably not the
Pepper spray, one of the bodyguards.
There's a lot of kicking in the nuts, causing
Shoots
guys
the
to
other
puke. She's got spikes in her wrists
spikes
that
yeah,
going through
good.
guys'
explosions.
hands. I mean, she gets overwhelmed, but she pulls out a new trick each time at the last second to take out these bodyguards slowly but surely, and it ends with a massive explosion going off. And one of the bodyguards...
She falls off the building.
One of the bodyguards takes her with her off the building.
Hits a car. The car goes through the street.
Like a lot of laws of physics, I think, were broken in this, in this scene.
Yeah. Into a tank.
Like a gasoline tanker,
truck.
yeah.
Yeah, gasoline tanker that goes through the ground into the metro, the subway, and then explodes. And Sawa just get ejected and survives.
Yeah, she's got like minor cuts and bruises on her. Like she didn't get thrown 300 feet into an opposite building onto a bed.
Yeah. It's like so good. It's probably the best scene of this whole OVA.
Oh, by far. It's certainly the most memorable. It's really cool. I guess that was like her last straw. between her and Oberi. It's like, okay, we're gonna die, and then a key point to at least her character is she has these diamond shaped jeweled earrings that have the blood of her parents in them, and they spin, and it gets shot.
Yeah.
One gets shot off during that
the
scene,
scene.
and that kind of makes her lose it. My question is,
Yeah.
she knows that these dudes murdered her parents, and she, I guess, wants revenge, but it's not really clear that that's her full intent. I mean, was she okay with her way of life?
I think she's just wanting, like, she's just waiting for the perfect opportunity to
I don't know.
to do
It seemed like she could just blow him away at any time. I'm not sure why.
I think it's. I
Did
think
Oberi like influence her?
the moment, the moment she realizes she needs to act on her revenge, is when Akai tells her to kill Oberi. Because there's an identification kind of, thing going on. Oberi and Sawa are the same. They are in the same situation, And Oberi knows as well that Akai and Kanye killed her parents. He told her, like, hey, they are the ones that killed your parents. And like, I know, So at that point, it's like, well, they're gonna try to kill me. If they're trying to kill Oberi, there is like this average dude that just wants to work a combini job and be happy, don't want to kill anymore, and they try to use me to kill this guy, then they're gonna find a way to kill me. So I think it's definitely like Oberi. It's not that Oberi is the trigger that caused the revenge, is the fact that Akai told Sawa to kill Oberi that made her mind that this is the time where I can make my revenge.
I do like Sawa's character design a lot.
I do like that. Yeah.
The like blood red eyes
character
were
design is-
very enticing.
Honestly, when we were talking about, like, I do like the updated visual of Virgin Punk, which is from the same dude.
Very much looks like her in a lot of ways.
But it does. But it's like modern, right?
Yeah. It's a lot more modern at it.
But I do like her design. She's very. It's weird to say that because there's a lot of pedophilia
God.
involved to it. But she's very youngish in look because of like the art style with the double twin tails, but tied on the top. So you have the ringlets, like the two rings, and always with these high school style uniform, black uniform.
Yeah, that was clearly the taste of the
with high
of Akai.
with high socks.
Yeah, I think that was the taste of Akai. He liked her in that stuff, and it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, but I like her with the hair down as well. In the show, she has a really good character design because it's at the end of the day it's hentai, so the main girl needs to have a appealing.
I mean,
character
it's
design.
like it's hentai only in the case that there's these few sex scenes in it, but it's not.
Sure. It's
Yeah.
mature.
I would say it's 18
mature
plus.
animation. But like you're not watching a mature animation because Kanye, even though he's super weird, has a fucking 30 centimeter dick. We're watching because of the main character, like the main character, the girl main character, has a really good design.
Yeah, they certainly aren't shy of showing us different
it's very
positions
alluring.
in full view of everything.
a lot. I was like, man, those guys are just checklisting the Kama Sutra. But regardless, she has a very alluring personality as well.
Yeah, a lot of mystery. She's very reserved, confident when she does.
But playful
Yeah.
as well with Obori. She's like, oh man, 90s woman, 90s Japanese woman, which evolves again because Japanese animation is very historical. It evolves into the alluring woman we see later. That is not very docile and childish. It's more mysterious and mischievous. Something like Monogatari's Senjogahara.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was
Right?
thinking more of like Roberta from Black Lagoon.
But the problem with Roberta is that she's determined.
Well, eventually, yeah, like that's what you get. But like before you
But
get all that,
it's
she's this
more-
mysterious maid, basically.
It's more heavy. It's more heavy. Right? When you think about it, it's a Revi. Because Revi is not Revi is childish, but she's a different type of childish than Sawa. It's just that she was born and raised into that violence. She never had a proper time to mature.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Sawa here
So
was
she's like this almost 30-year-old woman that acts like a child because she can, because she got a gun. And if you don't do what she says, she shoots you. And then on the normal side of the spectrum, from the same time period, because Black Lagoon is 2008, 2009, early 2006, 2007, then when you get to 2010, you have something like Senjogahara from Monogatari series, which is very mature, but it still have a child side and very mischievous, but alluring. It's like this hidden sexiness from those kind of characters that you see. And Sawa is very on that early type of character. They're not a tsundere, they're not those kind of stylish characters. They are a alluring character from a certain personality, very mischievous, sometimes childish. And you can see the... Nowadays you don't see those characters that much, but there isn't a clear evolution of that type of character. And that's very interesting to see, looking back,
Yeah.
In retrospective. Even though the show's dog shit.
Okay, yeah, that's where I was
we'll
gonna.
get to
That's
that.
where I was gonna kind of end this. Is this movie was pretty dog shit.
Yeah, it was. The ending is so bad. Because it
No,
doesn't
nothing
make
makes sense.
A lot of things make sense until big, major, smallest, Aubrey gets
Gets
killed.
blown away
kid.
by the girl. I'm like, okay, who did she work for?
Like,
How? Who put out the hit on
that's
him?
the thing. Like, there's a book on how to write a story and script. It's a very important book if you want to write script for movies and shows. I forgot the name, unfortunately, but I read it in college. Everything needs to be hinted. Everything needs to be clear enough that people can understand what's going on and make it its own presumptions and assumptions of the story. The little girl with the twin braid, she's shown when Akai is using the bathroom and Oburi gets into the bathroom and threatens him with a knife,
Yeah.
right? And Akai is like, hey, you said you're gonna do 3 more jobs for me. You only did 1. And nobody's like, fuck you. Who the fuck was that guy? That guy wasn't like an accountant. That guy was a fucking military soldier. What the fuck was like, dude? It was goated. The kid is outside of the bathroom, It's like, okay, she's probably the same as Sawa and Oburi, and it's probably the bodyguard of Akai because she's also shown playing basketball in the alleyway where the
Yeah.
building Akai and Kanye
Always hanging out there.
are located. The problem with the ending is that because you establish that logic, and the logic is that kid is too young to be like Sawa and Oburi and understand that Akai and Kanye are bad people, she should be shooting Sawa. Because Sawa killed Kanye and killed Akai. But she kills Oburi.
Well, there is the creaking, like, she's in Oberi's place with all the cats, and there is the creaking of the floorboards. I think that's hinting that someone's coming
Someone is
to
coming
kill
to get her. Could be. But like killing Oburi, although like then you go back as like there is a hate for Oburi since the beginning basically. But like killing him, which is like out of nowhere, instead of showing the hate on Sawa first, is strange. It should be Sawa being killed and Oburi having the crick, in my opinion. It would make more sense. Instead of like, oh, but I hinted at the beginning because Oburi shot the basketball. That's a hint, so you could know that the first person to die in the end would be
I guess.
Oburi. And I guess like it's a hint that there's a bigger society,
organization
bigger
out there that kind of handles all that.
organization behind. But Akai and Kanye never hinted that. And so that's also a problem. Because if Akai said, oh, we're doing that because the organization.
Yeah, there was
told
never
us,
anything like
or
that
this
throughout the
list
whole
is
thing.
the
Yeah.
list. There was nothing like that. So Akai and Kanye are dead. Why is the kid getting revenge on them? If she's now alone, she can do whatever the fuck she wants. Right? Because the characters that were involved with
Yeah, everyone's toasted.
hypothetical organization, yeah, the people who would be involved with the organization never hinted an organization existed. If there was never hinted in the story, thus it doesn't exist. It's a rule of story making. So, by the rules set by Kite, an organization that is not Akai and Kanye existing is impossible. So what is the motivation of the kid to kill Oburi and that other person to get Sawa?
Yeah, there's too many assumptions that
like-
we, the viewer, have to make
that
throughout
breaks.
this, and the ending is pretty. Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, it really breaks the storytelling.
I mean, from the get-go, all the storytelling's kind of broken.
But you can fix it. Like, because it's a revenge story, you can fix it. The problem
Yeah,
is
but it's all
it doesn't
it's all
end on the
flash
revenge.
work, and I just find it lazy. A lot of it's just lazy. I mean, we've seen OVAs that are this long
Probably
that were able to tell a much better story than this with excellent action. I think Writing Bean comes to mind.
well, there you're not going through like an edgy revenge story. I think it would be if the ending was a little bit different, or if Akai said the words, "The organization sent us a new list."
Yeah, I mean, there's.
That would be okay.
I guess maybe.
would
I guess maybe
fix
we can
a
assume there's an
lot of the
organization because Kanye is on the. He's on the
problem is
computer and he's axing people
can't-
off and fixing. Maybe those are things sent to them. I guess we can. That's implied
Probably
that way.
But like, you need people speaking.
Yeah, there's
Right?
no establishment of this world really outside of these 4 characters.
So it ends up with like, and Oburi's such an innocent character to be killed, right? And to be killed by a kid as well.
Hey, she was a hell of a shot, just
It's
like kind of over the elbow, shoulder straight up, bang, kind of done and quick, and then goes off and plays again.
Yeah, it's like, it's just like Joel in The Last of Us 2, right?
Oh, yeah, with the
Like,
start,
it's the same reason why people got pissed, you know, why he was killed. Like, this dude is just the most random innocent dude, given the circumstances, and then you just do that guy dirty. It's like, that's not a
you do the viewer dirty.
play. Yeah, essentially, because you would think that Sawa would be targeted. And if Sawa is targeted and survives, then you have a better segue into a sequel, Kite Liberator.
Or even in Mezzoforte, you establish more of a world that you can spin off into.
Yeah, Aubrey, dude just want to feed his cat.
He just wanted to feed the stray cats. That's all he wanted to do.
Yeah. It's like, it's such a bad character to kill. Because maybe you don't want to attempt against Sawa, the main character. So it's like, writing wise, it could be better. It's not like they got themselves into a dead end that could not be fixed. They had a good way of ending it, but they chose another path that I disagree with. I thought it was a really bad ending, which is unfortunate because the story is very simple.
It's a simple story. They somehow still fucked up.
Yeah, the story is very simple. The flags are very good. Like that dialogue between Sawa and Oburi. Oburi saying, "You're gonna kill me because like I told you to do so. They killed your parents." And she's
I've known for years.
I know they killed my parents. Yeah. And then she presses the trigger and it's empty and she's like, "You come back here after we're done." And then we have like this friendship romance between Sawa and Oburi. Everything's really good. But then you fuck up at the end because you wanted
they wanted to be more edgy. They wanted to show Oburi getting beaten to an inch of his life as Sawa gets raped in front of him. And that's Kite's hobby. Right? And you're like, ugh.
And so like it's so unnecessary. The ending could be very good.
All right, I'm ready to score this thing.
Sure.
I'm torn between a 2 and a 3.
What should you give it? A Kite. I give it a 4, honestly.
I don't think it's the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's certainly bad.
The action is good. Is well animated. You have very little cuts. The music's fine.
Yeah. I guess.
The characters make sense. It's just the ending is so bad. The ending is so dog shit.
I like the few action scenes that we had. I just think it's too many things make no sense to me.
Pizza.
And it's very bad storytelling.
It's like having a really good pizza, but it falls inside of a pool. And now it's wet pizza.
Wet pizza.
Yeah. It's like a $30
yeah, it's like
pizza.
too greasy
it's like
and it's
like a Michelin. It's a Michelin star pizza that you bought, and it's like, dude, this is the best. It's the best pizza in the United States. But then you just enjoying it by the poolside, and someone just hits your pizza and just flies into the swimming pool. And like, man, I paid $30 on this. I need you eat it right now. I need you eat it. And then you eat it. It's like, it's soggy pizza, man. And it's not like sauce soggy. It's water with Clorox soggy pizza.
All right, so you're at a 4.
Kind of
I'm at a 3. Low score. And you got the next pick here. Have you decided what you want to do yet, or are you gonna mull that over?
Oh, what should we do? Let's take a look at the. Do you want an interesting one to talk about? Do you want a funny one?
I mean, I'm in the mood.
want to go
I'm in a romance type mood. It is Valentine's Day and whatnot.
Romance? Let's do Wreck then.
Wreck. I'm not familiar.
Wreck. Oh, this one also has sex scenes. It's kind of suspicious.
9
but
episodes.
not.
What a weird
It's
number.
just Small Woman.
Oh, Studio Shaft.
Right?
Okay, so we're sticking in that realm.
It's not a lolly. It's just
Okay.
a small woman.
Wreck it is. That'll bring us next time. Hickey, this was fun. See you in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Peace.